came in there, but he had a shot to hit him. But Morrow was rushed and had to throw under pressure.
The New York Jets have not shown a great deal of red dog. Jerry Philbin's doing a fine job at that left end position. Larry Grantham, number 60, the man that was somewhat of a question mark because of his size, did red dog from the weak side, putting big pressure on Earl.
Third down, 10 to go for the Baltimore Colts. They're on the New York Jet 19. No score. 6 minutes, 14 seconds left to play in the first period. Willie Richardson flanks to the right. Jimmy Orr to the left. Matty set behind Earl Morrow. Morrow is rushed again. Swerves away and is spun down on the 18. In there on him was the linebacker who blitzed Larry Grantham. Also Merlin Biggs, 86. And Morrow, who's not supposed to be blitzing the Grantham, really shook himself loose that time, or he would have been tackled 6 or 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Now it's the field goal team on for Baltimore as the Jets stopped him. 4th down 9. Lou Michaels, the left-footed kicker. Boyd will hold. Michaels kicked 18 out of 28 this year. His kick is up, and it is no good. It is no good off to the right. And the Colts, who drove from the 27, were stopped on the Jet 18 and failed to score the field goal. Action will continue here at the Super Bowl. The score, the Baltimore Colts nothing and the New York Jets nothing.
What's your name? What's your name? Snow White.
Snow White, honey. Now, Nolan Fenn's light music. You can worry all over again. And then we hop over to Ireland and see my relatives.
Relatives? Oh, no, you don't.
You can see 22 countries in 5 days.
This is the time when people are planning their vacations and confusion is king.
I want the fresh air and
PWA thinks you ought to see your travel agent before planning a vacation. He can save you time, money, aggravation.
Hey! Champagne! Artichoke!
Artichoke, the kitchen is 10 feet away.
You don't love me anymore!
Settled? We're going to take the economy tour.
What's that?
That's where you stay home.
Your travel agent may even save your marriage.
Well, the Colts have the ball 5.5 minutes in that drive without scoring. Now it's the Jets ball, first down on your 19. Namath out to Snell, they can't hold on to it. That's twice they run the fullback out of the backfield.
You know, Kurt, you mentioned that Baltimore controlled that ball 5.5 minutes. This is actually one reason why Earl Morrow has helped the Baltimore defensive unit, because he plays more of a ball control type of game than does, say, Johnny Unitas. And, of course, this has given the defensive unit more time to rest on the bench. Subsequently, they're more effective because of it.
And Rick Bolt, the star safety man, is out of action still. He's been replaced by Ossie Austin in that important deep secondary spot. Second down, 10. Jets on their 20. No score. 5:29 to go in the first period. The slot right. Namath again. Plenty of time. It's the Lamons. Not much. Down in his 22. Hit there immediately by Miller, the tackle who dropped back, and Lenny Lyles, 43, the right linebacker.
On that play, Kurt, we saw the New York Jets use something they've used very frequently this year. They've taken Maynard, split him way far to the right side. They've taken George Sauer, number 83, put him in the slot. And then Pete Lamons, 87, the traditional tight end. They moved him from that side to the weak side.
Bill Mathis now 31's in the left halfback, replacing Emerson Boozer. 3rd and 8, the Jets in their 22. Namath's pass is complete for a first down to Mathis on the 35-yard line of the Jets. Mathis, a very excellent pass receiver for a halfback.
Here we see that play again. Namath going back. You see Mathis on the right of your screen, leaving out of that backfield, out of his halfback position. And he'll go right straight downfield as he goes up. Finally, number 53, Dennis Garbaz, comes in to make this strike. But as both Kurt and Al mentioned, he's an excellent pass receiver, outstandingly fine pass blocker. Of course, they try and get him in there when they're in a passing game.
You notice how quickly Namath could get rid of that ball. Men like Lombardi, Paul Brown, Sid Gilman say it's one of the quickest and best natural passes they've ever seen. First down, the Jets in their 35. No score in the game. Protection again. Now he's firing deep to Maynard. He's there. Hit quick. Got it. Maynard had him beat number 20, Jerry Logan. And the Jets nearly put 6 points up.
And there's the danger of the deep zone. We talked about it earlier, Kurt, where Bobby Boyd, number 40, takes the short zone. That means number 20, Jerry Logan, who was playing the strong side safety, had to cover Maynard deep and just a foot shorter, and it could have been a different situation.
Maynard going off. He's a little disturbed. He thought he should have caught that. That ball in the air was delivered 55 yards from where Namath threw it. Second down, the Jets on their 35. Second and 10. No score. 3:56 to play in the first period. Nate Turner's now in. And it goes out to the 41. George Sauer, the split end, running a quick little slant in. And he's hit there by Lenny Lyles, who followed him over from the right cornerback position.
And that's that game of chess that Namath will be playing with that Baltimore defensive unit all afternoon. Gorbatz and Shinnick both red dogging. And, of course, he's reading the red dog, or trying to read it. Apparently he picked it up right that time. Baltimore trying to disguise it, but Joe Namath picked it up right then.
Third down, 4 to go. The Jets in their 41. Namath overthrows Sauer that time. I believe he dumped it over his head. He was afraid of an interception there. So it's now 4th and 4, and the Jets again will be going into a punt formation. And still Timmy Brown will go back as the deep returner. Curly Johnson will be punting. Timmy Brown, a veteran of the National Football League. Tenth year. Spent 8 years for the Eagles. One with Baltimore, one with Green Bay. End over end. Brown handles it on his 21. Trying to get some blocking. Gets outside now. He's got the field blocking. Matt Snell hit him. Matt Snell, 41, had to bring him down. And they set it up for Brown. Peeling back and setting up that wall of blockers on the far side. A beautiful return and great blocking. And now it's timeout. Action will continue here in the Super Bowl. The score, the Baltimore Colts nothing and the New York Jets nothing.
Hey, I'm the new adjustable Gillette Techmatic razor. My brother, the old Techmatic, was made for average beards. But I have this new thing on the cartridge. I can take care of light beards, not so light beards,
Average beards, heavy beards, and even heavier beards. At this setting, I'll give you the closest shave you've ever had in your life. Remember my name, the new adjustable
Gillette Techmatic razor.
If you crossed a clam with a tomato, you'd get a clamato. Clamato, the delightful blend of clams and tomatoes from Mott's. Not quite like clams or tomato juice. Tomato has its own flavor. Light, refreshing, rejuvenating. You have to taste it to believe it. Try Mott's Clamato, and you thought Mott's just made great applesauce.
There's Johnny Unitas, who has set out the entire season with torn muscles in his throwing elbow, although he's coming along, and they hope he'll be all right next year. Baltimore in the 42, first down. Willie Richardson, the wide man to the right. Morrow to the short man, dropped by John Mackey. Oh, he deserved it himself. John Mackey, the son of a Baptist minister, played at Syracuse University and a roommate of the late Ernie Davis.
Good acting by John Mackey there, too. He stayed on the line of scrimmage almost as if he was the block, then started out toward the sideline about 3 paces. Gave those Jets linebackers time to take the deep drop, which they are taking in this fast defense, and then just down underneath the linebackers, wide open.
Morrow now has hit 2 out of 6. Second down 10. Baltimore on their 42. No score. 3 minutes to go in the first period. Flat right. Orr and Richardson flank to the right. Hill and Matty behind Morrow. Here it is to Hill, and he's dragged down on the 45-yard line of Baltimore by Ralph Baker, the left linebacker, and that quick right tackle, John Elliott, at the University of Texas. That gives Baltimore a 3-yard pickup, 3rd and 7.
Earl Morrow, Kurt, continues to work on that running game. He's gone somewhat to his pass. He has one situation that looks awfully attractive. When he has Willie Richardson split out to the same side with number 28, Jimmy Orr. I mentioned it earlier, Jim Hudson, the strong safety, is covering very tight.
All right, it's Richardson to the right, Jim Orr to the left. Set back to Hill. Matty's in the slot left now. They like to isolate him on a linebacker. Here's a deep pass intended for Richardson. They battle for that ball, and Sample bats it away. Richardson is much like Otis Taylor in the American Football League, a big flanker who usually comes down with the ball when 2 or 3 men are battling him with it. That time, Sample bodies for it, and it's an incomplete pass. 4th down, and Baltimore's been stopped. 4th and 7, their punting team is in now. David Lee finished 11th in punting in the NFL this year. If Baltimore has one flaw, they say it's protecting the punter. Billy Barrett and Christie are deep. Lee gets the ball away a little slowly sometimes. And that was the way. It's a high, short kick. Don't let it bounce. It takes a Baltimore hop, and New York's going to be in the hole. And he got a great bounce and a very mediocre kick. Hilton, linebacker, down there to down it. And so, action will continue here at the Super Bowl to score. Baltimore nothing, and New York nothing.
The Great Plymouth Sale is now. Featuring special savings on specially equipped Fury, Valiant, Barracuda, and Belvedere models. Savings on such extras as white wall tires, vinyl roof, all vinyl interior, and others. All during the Great Plymouth Sale. So for a great deal on specially equipped Plymouths, head for your Plymouth dealer. You'll see, when Plymouth has a sale, it isn't just good, it's great.
Vince Lombardi looking on, coached the Packers in last year's Super Bowl victory. The Jets are in a hole now on their 3-yard line with a 1st down. Mathis in a left halfback. They give the ball to Snell. Snell, good surge. About to be 7 or 8 yard line. The Jets didn't handle that short punt. They didn't call a fair catch. And Baltimore got a great bounce on it, about 20, 25 yards, and pinned the Jets back. Ball's on the 8-yard line of the Jets, 2nd and 5. Dan Shinnick made that last tackle. There's Boozer, the left halfback, and his coach, Weavy back. 2nd and 5 for the Jets on their 8. We have a minute and a half to go in the first period. There's no score. Here's the draw. Snell out to the 10. And very close to the 1st down. Stripped up by Dennis Dawbats, the middle linebacker, number 53. And Al will see how they line this one up first. I believe it's going to be about a yard short. 3rd down and a yard to go.
The Baltimore Colts are playing their 2 secondary men, their 2 safety men, rather tight in this situation. They're playing a very tight 4-man line. It's odd with a man lined up head on the center for the center to take away the run.
3rd down, a short yard to go for the Jets. Michaels and Porter are in. Shinnick and Brazy have gone out now on the short yardage play. He's going to throw to Sauer. Sauer is hit. A fumble, and Baltimore recovers. Baltimore recovers, and hitting him was Lenny Lyle to guard the ball loose, and on the ball was number 55, Ron Porter of Idaho. They had the 1st down, the Jets did, as they drove out from their 3, but Sauer couldn't hold on to it, and so the Colts get the 1st turnover of the game, and the bounce they got on the punt has put the Jets in the hole. 1st down for Baltimore, and the Jets 12. There are 18 seconds left here in the first period. Matty and Hill behind Morrow. Double the slot left now. Morrow to Hill, and he is hit by number 81, Philbin, slicing over from left end. You're going to be impressed by the front 4 of the Jets. There's the gun. That's the end of the first quarter of the 1969 Super Bowl game with the score. Baltimore Colts nothing, and the New York Jets nothing.
I have an announcement that might make other color TV sets obsolete. RCA is introducing non-smear color TV. I'm going to split in half and give you a simulated demonstration. You get this kind of smear when the tuner doesn't filter out interfering signals. RCA has developed a new transistorized tuner that filters better than anyone else's. Non-smear color TV. The second step, inaccurate fine-tuning. Most TV sets fine-tune with partial accuracy. RCA is the only one that automatically fine-tunes with virtually 100% accuracy. Non-smear color TV. Now that I'm put together, why don't you split to your nearest RCA dealer? If you don't buy RCA, you may be buying an obsolete color TV.
This is Kurt Gowdy, Kyle Rowe, L.D. Regattas, and Jim Simpson. Pat Summerall also, the Orange Bowl, Miami, Florida, and the first quarter of the Super Bowl game is scoreless. Baltimore has the ball under 13 for the 2nd and 9. Earl Morrell, consistent, hitting those touchdown passes. Baltimore on the jet 13. 2nd down, 9. Sauer's fumble gave Baltimore the first big break. After he completed pass, and the Jets had a first down. As Jerry Hill goes over to the wingback. The pitch is to Matty. Matty to the 10 and runs to the 6. Well, they have called him the garbage man in the NFL because he seems to pick up 4, 5, 6 yards at a time and doesn't look like he's doing it. But boy, he can smell that goal line.
He sure can. He's an excellent runner. They had Strong to the right side. They came back to the week with Bob Vogel leading. A pass that is wide open, or Earl hasn't used it, is circling one of his backs, and possibly Tom Matty toward Ralph Baker, number 51. Ralph will have the coverage.
3rd down. 3 to go. The Colts on the New York Jets 6. Mitchell, the tight end, is in now. 2 tight ends in there. Jimmy Orr's gone out. Slot left. Morrow's going to throw, and it is intercepted. The Jets intercept. Randy Beverly. The ball was right in the hands of Tom Mitchell. Popped out of his hand, and it's a touchback.
Here's that play again. You see Morrow firing for Tom Mitchell, 84. There's the ball. Great reaction by Randy Beverly. Beverly coming back and saving at least 3 points, possibly a touchdown.
All right, the Jets twice now have stopped Baltimore deep in their own territory. Once on the 19, and that time on the 6. The Jets first down. Amos has hit 5 out of 8. One was dropped by Snell, and the other one just missed connecting with Maynard. Matt Snell, maybe a yard. Ordell Brazy, number 81, the defensive right end, making the stop, and Dan Shinnick, the veteran linebacker, number 66.
Looking at the Baltimore Colts, Kurt, they play kind of a reading defensive line. They're not really blowing across. They hit, they move, they get across the offensive linemen, control them, and then give great pursuit to the ball.
2nd down, 9, the Jets in their 21. No score, 13:30 to play in the half. Moving back in, it's to Snell again. Snell to the 25 and to his 28. And Shinnick again on the tackle. Let me correct that. Don, get that right. 12-year veteran, UCLA. Can't read all right. Matt Snell now has carried 7 times for 26 yards. He's the leading ground gainer. Third and 2. Snell trying to turn. He got the first down. Matt Snell's out of the 33. He was the leading ground gainer for the Jets this year. Lenny Lyles had to bump him out, and so the Jets pick up their 3rd first down.
And they continue, Kurt, to run weak and run weak very well. And once again, number 32, Emerson Boozer, a real big plus. He went in there, did a great job of blocking. Matt Snell, as Kurt called, and hit to the inside, then takes it to the outside.
Baltimore now has 4 first downs, New York 3. Colts will fidget around, disguise defense, hop around. What they're doing before the snap of the ball doesn't mean that's what they're going to be doing a second or two later. Here's the draw to Snell. Snell to the 35. Stays inbound. And is out on his 46. Lenny Lyles came over to draw him out. And Matt Snell, who made a comeback from a knee operation a year ago, had his best year this year since he was Rookie of the Year 5 years ago. Matt Snell's going out, and he's being replaced by Bill Mathis. They're going to give him a breather. And he may be a little taken up here.
While those plays are running, you can see the games being played in that Baltimore secondary. They're going into a normal halfback zone, a safety zone, all sorts of zones trying to compete.
Snell already at gain, 43 yards. A fake draw. The pass incomplete. Don Shinnick nearly picked it off. It was intended for George Sauer, who had double coverage on him. In fact, most of the day you'll probably see double coverage on Sauer and Maynard, the two wide receivers. So New York on their 46 now with a second down 10. We have no score. There's getting some oxygen this match now with 12 and a half to play in the first half.
And Kurt, there was an indication of what the weak side zone looks like. And Namath might circle his back over the middle and try to beat Shinnick.
Mathis and Boozer behind Namath. Maynard split to the right, Sauer to the left. Here's the blitz on. He jumps it off to Mathis to the 45. Mathis into Baltimore territory and out of bounds in the Baltimore 48. He was driven out by Bubba Smith, who combines speed with size. And Namath read that one as he sent his back out on the floor with a blitz on.
He really did. You watch Gorbatz calling the defensive signals and Namath calling the offensive signals. And what a battle of blitzes going on. Gorbatz, of course, trying to conceal a red dog, sometimes bringing those safety men up, making it look like a full red dog from safety position. And Namath trying to automatic, getting in those openings that are created.
Number 53, Gobbins, calls all the defensive signals. 3rd and 4. Namath fires. It's complete. Right on the line. As he hits George Sauer, who went down and then curled back. And from behind, Lenny Lyles hit him.
There's that play again. Sauer, all sorts of moves going downfield. And what makes Namath so dangerous is that ability to be able to throw off balance. A lot of quarterbacks are afraid to fire that ball that deep when they're not set. Namath backpedaling can fire that ball 35, 40 yards on a line. That's the type of pass it takes.
New York now on the Baltimore 34, first down. The Jets have driven from their own 20. Same setup. Snell's back in at fullback now, replacing Mathis. Here's a quick one. And nearly grabbed off by Lyles, but Sauer is taken out of bounds on the 23. Lyles gambled on him, and finally Rick Bolt was back in the game. Number 21 made the tackle on Sauer. And it is going to be, they're waiting for the signal from the officials before they move those yardsticks down. And now they finally give it to them. A first down for New York on the Baltimore 23. Let's check Namath's passing figures. He now has hit 8 out of 12, and he's had 2 drops for 67 yards. Emerson Boozer spinning to the 21-yard line of Baltimore. Don Shinnick, veteran right linebacker, making the tackle on him. It'll be second down, 7 to go. New York Jets on Baltimore's 21. This has been the Jets' deepest penetration.
And the Jets, Kurt, are not having good success going to the strong side. The Baltimore Colts are playing it odd, but they're playing it strong. Joe will run better weak.
Second down, 7. Here it is, out to Snell, to the 15, to the 10. First down, a fumble. And let's see. Ball's down on the 9. First and goal to go. You're seeing Baltimore put the heavy blitz on Namath. And as soon as he reached that, he dumped the ball out to his back, flaring to the side.
Exactly right, Kurt. He not only reads the blitz so well, but he's playing that zone just perfectly. He's seeing those linebackers take away the short zone, so he circles his back.
Namath, red hot, 9 out of 13. 9:45 to play, there's no score. The Jets have shot Baltimore twice deep. That's Snell's been the outstanding runner so far. He has gained nearly 50 yards already here in the first half, and he carries it to the Baltimore floor. Billy Ray Smith, the left tackle, brought him down. Second down and goal to go for the New York Jets on the Colt 4-yard line. Brazy is coming out, Shinnick is coming out, Hilton is going in, and Michaels is going in. The Baltimore goal line defense.
Exactly right, Kurt. It's going to be a tough defense to hit up straight on. The slants probably would be more effective.
And he may go! He's in there! Still scoring!
Here's that play again. Namath taking that ball from center. That slant play Al was talking about. And look at that blocking along the line. Great blocking. Winston Hill, Bob Calamini. Number 53 didn't score that a little late on the tackle.
80 yards, 11 plays. The drive engineered by Namath. New York had the ball over 5 minutes in that drive. So the Jets score first. They're anywhere from 18 to 22-point underdog. More than the college All-Stars were against the Panthers last August. Borelli will hold. Jim Turner hasn't missed a point this year. He moves it. Timeout. Action will continue here in the Super Bowl. The score, the New York Jets 7 and the Baltimore Colts nothing.
Wherever you go these days, Winston's on the scene. Because only Winston has golden filter blend tobaccos up front for the best taste in modern filter smoking.
Yes, Winston tastes good like cigarette should.
Like your cigarette should.
Winston.
Well, they were giving odds the Jets wouldn't score on the Colts, who shut out 4 teams in NFL this year. The Jets have just gone 80 yards. Matt Snell scoring a touchdown. He has now picked up 53 yards in the first half. The Namath has hit 9 out of 13. Billy Johnson kicking. And here's a tough man right here, Preston Pearson. Averaged 35 yards of punt return. And he's down on his 27-yard line. And hitting him was Richards, number 26, Jim Richards. Super Bowl being brought to you in living color exclusively on NBC. Well, Baltimore will take over now. They're 28. Earl Morrell has completed 2 out of 8 today. He's had a couple drops right in the hands of receiver. Jimmy Orr spread to the right. Richardson the slot back inside. Morrell rolling, is firing deep, and that ball is out of bounds. Double teaming that time. Going back, Bill Barrett and Johnny Sample. Double teaming Willie Richardson, number 87.
Just a quick comment, Kurt. When you see Earl Morrell now on first down, he's almost now beginning to somewhat move away from that game plan. Now he's got 2nd and 10. A little different situation.
Second down. 10 to go. Baltimore on his 28. The New York Jets are ahead 7-0. 8:27 to play in the first half. Jets have already intercepted 1 pass. Morrell had only 2 passes intercepted in his last 5 games. Addy and Hill split behind Morrell. Moore near side, Richardson far side. And it's to Matty. Matty slips away. Out of bounds. Out of bounds on the New York 42-yard line. Jim Hudson had to finally drive him out.
We're going to go with slow motion in the end zone. The reason he goes, you see number 60 hitting up in there, Grantham? He calls it automatic against Grantham, flips it out to 41-90. Kahn makes a good move. Looks like he's going to get all the way. This is a real football player.
You saw Jimmy Orr make that key block after he got beyond the line of scrimmage. Baltimore now in the New York 42. Slot right formation. Richardson and Orr spread to the right. They run Jerry Hill, the fullback, to the Jet 38. We pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network.
of the surprising statistics about the Baltimore Colts to have gone through an entire NFL season, come out the champion. Their longest gain on the ground through that entire first season, 23 yards. So I think the Jets' defensive team is not as concerned about the breakaway type of running.
Second down, 7 for the Colts on the Jet 38. Matty's in motion. They give the ball to him. He tries to cut, and he's wrapped up on the 37-yard line of the New York Jets. Berlin Biggs was sliding over there with him. And also, number 62, Atkinson, really made that play as he left his middle linebacker position and cut over very sharply to bring him down.
Now, Kurt, we'll keep our eye on number 60, Larry Grantham, because the last time Earl Morrow worked on Grantham, Earl may decide to fake the pass, come to the draw. He may decide to come with a screen to the wide side of the field if he gets the feeling that the New York Jets will be red dogging.
Third down, 5 to go for Baltimore. On the Jet 38. New York ahead, 7-0. There's a quick one, and it's to Mackey. He can't hold on to it. It's an incomplete pass. Incomplete pass. Incomplete pass. This was long. They say that Mackey did not have possession or control. And some of the crowd, AFL fans going, but he did not have possession. Field goal team is coming on now. It's 4th down and 5. And for the third time, the Jets have stopped Baltimore in Jet territory. They're making the key play. Lou Michaels, a good long kicker, will boot this one from the Jet 46. Bobby Boyd is holding. And his kick is up. And this one is no good. To the right. That's 2 that Michaels has missed. Well, action will continue here at the Super Bowl. The score is the New York Jets 7 and the Baltimore Colts 0.
You know what's nice about the new cars? They keep the air cleaner than the old ones did. Especially when you use Phillips 66 gasolines and
Baby,
Farm
você quer the whole TV though, or just part of it?
Both have detergent additives that help keep your carburetor, pistons, PCV valve, and other
That
engine
can
parts
the whole
clean
TV or just part
while
of it?
you drive. And because your engine stays cleaner, the air
Because
stays
you can't see it because the salt shaker is not.
No, I know that. Well, actually, I can see because my water bottle. But that's all I'm asking. I don't know who has done that. We won't hear the best door on that. I wonder how often is that.
Oh, that's the broadcast. There's no
too rich to run, too thick to drip. Gillette foamy, hands down.
Skip.
So far, Namath has had outstanding pass protection. He was dumped only 15 times all season. And the Colts haven't got to him yet. We'll see what happens. First down, New York, on their 20. Boozer fights to the line of scrimmage in a yard more, and that's it. Frazee from the right end, Billy Ray Smith, 74. And number 76, Fred Miller, tackle with Dennis Goffitz also in there. It's on the 21-yard line. Second down, 9. This Super Bowl telecast is being seen in Mexico, English and French Canada, via satellite to Hawaii and Puerto Rico. Miami's blacked out, and we've blacked out part of the British Empire. They watch a lot of sports over there in the Bahamas on Miami television. They can see it on the replay at midnight tonight. Second down, 9. The Jets on their 21, they're ahead 7-0. Namath firing. A great grab by Sauer. First a tough fake to full miles, and then Sauer making a spectacular catch, and the Jets have the ball.
And here it is again. Namath reading that all-out blitz just perfectly. There you saw the safety man, Rick Bolt, come in. And what a great catch by George Sauer. And here's Sauer all alone, and the inside move, and then just out running Lyles. Lyles, number 43.
Yeah, I know. The coach is good there.
Sauer's finished 2-1 and 2 the last 3 years. He's already done 5 today. Not finished lower than second. First down, New York, the Baltimore 44. 5:48 to play in the first half. Matt Snell over the 40, inside the 35, and to the 33, and Snell has been by far the outstanding player of the ball game.
Not only that, he's getting great blocking also from Boozer from the inside. side.
This
And
is
Joe
just
Namath
watch
throws
now.
it forward strong, but then hits back weak.
Matt
The whole
Snell has
thing all the
already
way
tied
down.
a Super Bowl record in the first half. Last year, Ben Wilson of the Packers gained 62 yards the entire game. Snell has gained 62 yards alone here in the first half. Here's the measurement on the Baltimore 34 for the first down. And they appear to be inches short. Well, the ability of the Jets to move on the ground, and before the game, L.D. Rogata said if the Jets could gain 100 to 130 yards on the ground, they'd have a chance today. And they're on their way to doing that.
You know, we might take this opportunity to just say hello to the AFL and NFL players at the Designated Players Association meetings out in Palm Springs. I think there are about 150 players who got around out there to watch the ball game today.
Second down and a foot to go for the Jets at the Baltimore 34. New York ahead 7-0. 5:11 to go in the first half. And they're trying to submarine, but the first down as Snell goes through. Don Shetty nailed him. Oh, by Dennis Gobbett. The two linebackers converging. Now the Jets have the ball. First down, Weave Eubank, who coached Baltimore, and now has coached New York. He's the only man to ever win championships in both leagues. New York on the Baltimore 32.
That was a good decision to redo that.
Jets have 10 first downs, Baltimore 4. Plenty of time, a broken pattern, and Maynard started to the sideline and then tried to get into the end zone, and he was really smothered there by Jerry Lloyd and Bobby Boyd.
And Kurt, you talked about the great protection, and it's been outstanding. And I've talked about Kyle has the fine blocking. And Emerson Boozer did another great job. You see number 66, Don Shinnick, the weak side linebacker, blitzing. Boozer steps up, gives him a good pop. And Joe Namath, once again, is still standing erect.
Yeah, I was on videos.
Second down, 10. The Jets from the Baltimore 32. Maynard's gone to the sideline, replaced the flanker by Fake Turner, and spread to the right. Sowers to the left.
Yeah, they're not like this.
Boozer and Snell behind him. Bad pass that time by Namath, his first of the game. And slanting in with Fake Turner, he was open.
Well, he read that safety red dog. Jerry Logan again coming in on the blitz, leaving that all of that wide territory to Bobby Boyd's inside. Boyd had to cover Fake Turner no matter which way he went. Joe Namath trying to take advantage of that vacancy created when Logan Red Dog trying to hit that area.
Maynard comes back.
As you said, a bad pass.
Maynard comes in, going out is Fake Turner. Third down and 10. The Jets on the Baltimore 32. He's hit, scrambles away, and is hauled. He tried to fight for field position for a field goal, trying to get that ball in the middle of the field. That's the first time they've got to him in the first half. Don Shinnick got to him first, and then Dennis Gobbett, the middle linebacker. And now the field goal team is on. Jim Turner, who set an all-time pro record, kicking 34 field goals this year out of 46 attempts. And he'll probably boot this one from about the 40-yard line. Remember, there's a tricky crosswind blowing here today, 20 miles an hour. Dave Pirelli's going to spot this one on the 41. 41-yard field goal.
Why does he have that? How did he even get that?
Well, they aimed it to the left, to his left.
How did no one knows he had that?
I did.
You was just rated?
Kick is up.
Oh, God.
And it is no
He
good.
picked up with it in his mouth, didn't you?
To the left, so the field goal keeper's having trouble
Can't have
crosswind
that.
today. Action will continue here at the Super Bowl. The score is the New York Jets 7 and the Baltimore Colts 0.
It's not if you play with it.
The ones on the polyglass? Oh, they look fine. Gosh, I've got, I must have
For pet
15,000
use
miles
only,
on those
not
tires
for
now.
children's
So
toys.
they're plenty of tread. I'll say they'll go another 25,000 miles. Well, you've got a happy customer, I'll tell you that.
The Goodyear Custom Wide Tread Polyglass tire can give you up to double the mileage of our best-selling tire. If it doesn't say Goodyear, it can't be Polyglass.
Oh, yes it does. It says with cat there.
Oh.
Super King Size Salem, the extra late cigarette that takes your taste to the country wherever you light up.
country, but
Don Shula has the best record in pro football the last 6 years. 63 wins, 18 losses, and 1 tie. His team coming to this game with 10 consecutive victories. Morrow now is first down to the sideline and complete to Willie Richardson. Out on his 26.5, bumped out by John Sample, 24, the left quarterback, who's playing against his old teammates.
And they're going again to the air on first down. They make a good gain on that play. They move to a double wing with 1 setback. Remember, Earl Morrow likes to come with draws in that situation. However, he's looking at an odd 4-3. They're over-shifting to Jerry Philbin's side. 3 men to one side. Berlin Biggs, the only man to the short side.
Morrow now has completed 4 out of 12. Second down 4. Baltimore on their 26. Now Matty cutting back and breaking away. He may be caught from behind. And Billy Barrett finally wrestled him down. That's Matty's longest run of the season. And some unhappiness now. Matty and Johnny Sample. That's Matty's longest run from scrimmage.
Here it is again. Now, Glenn Wesley, you'll see him coming out. Number 62 makes a big block right there. Matty goes outside. Hudson misses the tackle. Tom Matty turning on good speed. You don't see Joe Bear, but he'll be coming into the picture. The pursuit is there. He tried to cut back. Great run by Tom Matty.
58 yards for Tom Matty. Tied an NFL record by scoring 3 touchdowns in the championship game. And Tim Brown, number 2, replaces him. Give Matty a breather. He now is the leading ground game in the game. On that long run. First down Baltimore on the Jet 16. 3 minutes to play in the half. New York leading. Forward motion stopped at the 15. Gary Hill carrying. Underneath the play was Al Atkinson, the middle linebacker. And Larry Grantham, number 60. 2 linebackers. It's on the New York 15, second down 9.
You see the great difference between the 2 defensive units insofar as the picture they present. The Jets pretty much standard. They'll move their linebackers, shift their line one way or the other, but they very rarely do complicated safety red ball.
Second down 9, Baltimore to Jet 15. Morrow. Flag, intercepted. Intercepted by Johnny Sample. That's the second interception for him. And he hands it over to Willie Richardson.
And here's Sample working on Willie Richardson, or rather trying to cover against him. You'll see him cut inside of him. And actually, after he caught that ball, he would have been able to get up and run, and that's what number 62, Al Atkinson, was talking to him about as he was laying on the ground.
All right, the Jets now on their own 2-yard line with a first down. Baltimore, as Alan Powell said, have gone to the blitz heavy. They're behind, and they're trying to get in there and Namath. And Namath has been reading those blitzes. And let's see if Baltimore tries to blitz here as the Jets pinned up against their own goal line. Action will continue at the Super Bowl to score. The New York Jets 7 and the Baltimore Colts nothing.
Your next car. The great new Chrysler. The possible dream. A special calm. A whole new world. Now more a reality than you ever thought possible. Now more luxury than you ever thought you could afford. Now more attainable than ever. Chrysler. The possible dream. Like a dream come true. Chrysler, your next car is Chrysler. Your next car is here.
Bobby Boyd just went to the Baltimore bench. He's the left cornerback. Came back and told his teammates something. Maybe a new defensive wrinkle. First down to Jets in the 2. They're leading with 2 minutes to go in the half. 7-0. And Snell out to the 3 or 4, and that's all. And then Don Shinning 66, and Dennis Combat 53 on the tackle.
One of the things Bobby Boyd might have told his teammates is no more safety red dogging right here on this particular part of the field, because as good a job as Namath does in picking those red dogs apart, they would really be weakening their defensive structure if they put in some safety red dogs right now.
Second down 8, the Jets on their 4, time moving, 1:25 to play in the first half. Namath taking his time, long huddle, long signal down. Runs Snell again. Snell comes over the 5 to the 6 or 7. And Billy Ray Smith smashed him down. He's the left tackle from Arkansas, 10-year veteran. In fact, there's 10 years experience for Billy Ray Smith, 12 for Ordell Brazy, and 6 for Fred Miller. The NFL has experience that the younger league doesn't have. Baltimore was not held scoreless, by the way, in the first half of any game they played this year. They're the only pro team to ever win 15 games in a season, the only NFL team. Right now, they're trailing 7-0 with 1:12 to go. Boozer goes to the sideline.
And Kirk, going into this football game, 2 big question marks was John Sample, who had been beaten by Bolitnikov for the championship game. He makes a great play. Beverly on the right side, he makes the big interception. 2 big interceptions. And now, Kirk, we might concentrate on their 2 safety men, Volk and on Logan. They've been playing it rather tight. Namath might be tempted in going to that down and in, the post pattern against Lyles or against Boyd.
It is 3rd down now and 5. New York on their 7th. Baltimore had called time to stop the clock. Here's the draw to Snell. He is stopped cold. This time by Don Shinning, the veteran right linebacker. And so the Jets now are forced into a punt formation with 1:04 to go in the first half. They'll have a 4th and 5. Remember, the AFL All-Star Game will be on NBC television, 2 o'clock Eastern Time, next Sunday, January 19th, from Jacksonville, Florida. We had an exciting game there last year, and I know we will again this year. Curly Johnson is in to do the punting. That's Tim Brown. Johnson's kicked 2 today for a 38-yard average.
You mentioned the wind earlier, Kurt, and it certainly is a factor in some respects. Perhaps why the Jets let that ball drop, the punt drop a while ago, because of the gusty type of wind. Timmy Brown will be fielding it. The gusty wind is still prevalent there. You'll have to be very careful.
Look where the goalposts were.
And they have 10 men on the front. Look at that, a 10-man front for Baltimore.
They're trying to get touchdowns.
A lot.
How many times
They're
have
going
ball
after
bounced
him.
off?
Look out, he got it
They're trying to
away.
get
A high
touchdowns.
kick. A flag is down. Johnson is fell to the ground. In there on him is number 25, Alex Hawkins. But a flag is down. They may have roughing the kicker.
In fact, I think we had 2 penalties on that. Number 1, offsides, and then the man who was offsides continuing in and hitting the punter. Curly Johnson going off the field. And here's that picture again. There's number 25, Alex Hawkins in.
Oh, we have offsetting penalties.
They don't talk.
Offsetting penalties. Roughing the kicker against Baltimore. And a legal procedure against New York. Offsetting penalties, and they'll have to kick again with 57 seconds to go in the half. And let's see now. Baltimore puts that 10-man front up again. They were after him. They were playing to block the punt. Now, Jerry Logan is going back as a short man. He wasn't back there. He blocked for the punt returner, Tim Brown. Nice catch. Tim Brown on the Jet 46. Running around, using up some time as he's doing this, and he's hauled down on the Jet 42. The clock stops with 45 seconds to play in the first half. So Johnson got off a nice pressure kick.
As you say, there was pressure, and that's why Baltimore really didn't have a return on. They were pressuring, trying to block that punt. So they didn't have their men wheeling around, trying to form a wall to get inside.
All right, Orr is wide to the left, Willie Richardson to the right. Colts have 40 seconds now to try and score here in the first half. They have not been shut out in the first half. Here's Jerry Hill taking a flare and hit by Paul Craig. Now in the game, the linebacker 56. Former All-American center under Bear Bryant of Alabama. The clock is moving. 25 seconds to go in the half. Jerry Hill, number 45, the fullback. Baltimore now steps in and calls time to stop the clock.
And Curtin calling that timeout very wisely. 25 seconds. The Jets are playing it very deep. They don't want to be beaten deep. The Baltimore Colts were strong to the left side with a triple left. They had Mackey, they had Matty, number 41, in the slot, and they had Jimmy Orr very wide. On the far side of the field, number 87, Willie Richardson, who in this situation becomes the more logical primary receiver. So let's see whether Earl Morrall goes away from his strength and goes to what might be the weak side of the New York Jets, where number 87 will be playing, Willie Richardson.
Well, Earl Morrall is talking to Don Shula. It'll be second down, 9 to go. First downs in this game. The Jets have 10, Baltimore has 6. Baltimore twice moved deep into New York territory. They were stopped. Missed a long field goal. 93 yards rushing for Baltimore, most on one play of 58 yards. The Jets have 66 yards rushing. 64 yards passing for Baltimore, 111 for New York. The sun peeking through now. Second down and 9. Don Matty can throw a pass. Back to Morrow. All alone is Jimmy Orr. But they hit down the middle to Matty. Intercepted by Tim Hudson. The third interception for New York. The third interception for New York. And Baltimore trying a trick play. They had Jimmy Orr all alone and they didn't see him.
In slow motion, Kyle, we see it right open. A very smart play. Earl is in great spot. He completely loses Jimmy Orr, as Kurt Gowdy describes. And there comes Hudson. Perfect position to pick it off. That was a tremendous play, Kurt.
Orr could have walked in. All he had to do was line. He was wide open at the 10-yard line. Nobody within 15 yards of him, Kyle.
There really was. He was just so wide open. And they saved a scoreless first half.
That's the first time Baltimore has been shut out in the first half this year. So everybody was talking about New York being unable to score, and it's been the other way around. Now, you never know about sports. Halftime activities will continue. New York's leading 7-0 will continue from the 1969 Super Bowl game after this pause for station identification.
A vial of deadly germs imperils an entire city on My Friend Tony tonight.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
What do you want?
Joe has paid almost $2,500 in interest so far in my car. He's in New York. In the last 6 months, the actual principal payment went down almost $1,000. His car payment is $580.
Yep.
That's ridiculous.
For a stupid car.
Over almost 400 of it just going, over 300 of it just going to interest. What am I talking to?
Second half of this AFL NFL World Championship game is brought to you by Chrysler Corporation. Your host for today's game, Chrysler, Plymouth, and Dodge. By Winston, now America's largest selling cigarette of any kind. By your Phillips 66 dealers in all 50 states. By RCA, the first name in home entertainment. And by Trans World Airlines, the all-jet airline. Up and away. TWA. 7-0. The Jets leading, and for those that joined us late, the Jets drove 80 yards in the second quarter. Matt Snell went over for 4 with 9:03 to play in the first half. That has been the only score of the first half. And now, for your halftime pleasure, we now present America Thanks.
It's different. The whole thing is different. Yeah.
Yes, the great horn of plenty which throughout American history has poured forth the God-given blessings which have inspired us all, and those who came before us to build a system of government upon whose foundation has rested the guiding light for free men everywhere. Pouring forth from our great horn in the early years was the spirit of '76, that spirit which brought our colonists together to overcome all obstacles in forming a new nation. The Liberty Bell rang out over the Declaration of Independence to celebrate the birth of our new nation, ringing with such enthusiasm and zest for a new life that it cracks, and that spirit remains forever. The Statue of Liberty, presented to us by the people of France in recognition of our bold new world, stands in New York Harbor as a beacon of hope and inspiration to those who seek a new life in a new world, a world which offers freedom for all men. Freedom of education, the right to choose one's own path of progress, to develop one's mind in the field one chooses, seek the means of improving one's intellect in an atmosphere of freedom of ideas and theories. Freedom of speech, the right to say what we feel without fear of oppression if it's not agreeable to others. The right to voice our thoughts on the subjects and individuals that govern our lives, whether others agree or not. We have the right to express ourselves. Freedom of vote, the right to choose the men to speak for us in the governing of our lives. The right to vote for the issues that we feel are best for our way of life. Whether we vote right or wrong, win or lose, we still have that right. Freedom of religion, the right to our own manner of faith, to profess our own beliefs, to worship, to honor, to live the way of our